How's it going, guys? This is Pitter, and I wanted to go over this speed run of Deadmines on my 19 Twink Rogue. We kill Van Cleef at 4:53 exactly. If we were in LFD, we would get the satchel, be in good shape. We do go down after. It's possible not to die. That particular run we did go down, but it was such a clean run, I just kept it for the video. So we're going to do a whole run here. You can see right off the bat I popped the sprint after Rum, and the timer just now started. I have pre-sharpened weapons. I would say requirements for this run would be a Rumsey Rum, 2 sharpened weapons, and you're probably going to want at least 1 Shadowfang for your main hand, otherwise I think you might lack the damage to down the boss in time. You're going to need bandages. You're going to need AGM. And as a number 6, you're going to need pretty good gear on your 19 Rogue. Obviously this is Rogue only. We are doing standard spec 100%. We have the stealth spec that's used in Warsong. We have the glyph of sprint. If you really want to make this easier, you could take the glyph of slice and dice or the glyph of expose armor, but I didn't want to do that. Anyhow, the key concept of this run is the fact that you don't actually have to kill the first 3 bosses in this instance. You can skip them. I've been running Deadmines this way for a while. There's a lever on the opposite side of the door. Most people think you got to kill the boss to open the door. You don't. You'll see we open this door behind Rock's door after he patrols away. We're going to wait for him to patrol all the way back. Go to the middle of the door. This is important. You have to be right in the middle. And the mouse finds that lever. You can kind of see it at the bottom of the screen there. We don't pull Rock's door. We re-stealth. Continue with the run. So, we abuse this for the first 2 bosses. We can completely skip them. They're not necessary to get the Satchel of Helpful Goods. Our goal is to get the Satchel, which we need to kill Van Cleef to get. I do sap that Overseer right behind because he can patrol a little close to this door. Be very careful of the goblins. If you pull one of these, they're ranged, so it's just kind of a mess. Exact same concept, opening the door for Sneed. We're going to wait for him to patrol away. The only added thing for Sneed is we have to sap this wood carver, or he'll pull, we resap, we go to the door, he starts patrolling away, open the door. Awesome. So we're past 2 bosses and less than 1:30 in. If you really wanted to nerd out here, you could probably pop a speed potion here, or I think you could aggro reset on the chain maybe. Could pull this whole room. If you survive, you could aggro reset on the chain perhaps, but I just stealth through. Anyhow, this is the hardest part of the run. You get a nice little re-stealth mid-air there. So, I experimented with a lot with Gilned. I tried killing him over on this corner. I tried sapping patrols. Nothing was consistent except for this aggro reset strategy. So we do open the door like normal, but there's no way to avoid pulling Gilned. We pull Gilned and that mob near him. We pull everything in this room. There's an aggro reset spot here. Problem is it's not as simple because we are always going to have a ranged mob patrolling. Sometimes he'll be a little closer. You might pull him as you run through the door, but we need to kill the ranged mob, otherwise our aggro is never going to reset because we won't be out of combat. So, we pop evasion and we just blast this fucker down. You have to nuke him. If you do happen to get one of the Overseers with the gun, it's a little tougher because they're going to run away and try to shoot you. But just kill the mob, use everything at your disposal. You can see I threw the engineering bomb there. I wait for this dot to go off me, and then this is where we bandage to full. Bandage to full. Once you are full health, you have a fraction of a second to re-stealth once you get out of combat. You could hear the mobs actually re-aggro onto me, but I got really lucky. Re-stealthed in time. You should bandage to full earlier than me. Hopefully you don't get the dot on you. And then be spamming your stealth keybind. Okay. The rest of the run is super straightforward. I'm sure this is pretty standard for most people. Stealth to VC and kill him. I don't have the glyph of water walking. You could probably walk over the water and up to Mr. Smite's little island over there in the distance to save a little bit of time. But I don't have the glyph, so I just did this normally. yeah, it is lucky that I got this blackguard out of stealth. Gives me an easy sap on him. I do this little jump to the right of smite to not pull him, because smite is not sappable. You see I sap that pirate mid-air. If you do end up pulling any of these, you know you can just aggro reset on that wheel I just jumped off of. But we didn't pull. This is a pretty textbook run. Kind of sap along the way if I need to run through a mob, but again, not necessary if your positioning is good. This one I sapped because he was looking right there. Didn't like that. Anyhow, for VC, I do sap a blackguard on the way in. We should be paying close attention to our evasion cooldown. Open with the garrote. I do 2-point slice and dice, and I sustain the slice and dice the whole fight. I'm rocking lifesteal main hand, 15 agility offhand. I'll probably put a 80 upgrades in the description if people want of the gear I use. It's nothing amazing. Kind of a weird PvE set. I have the nimble leather gloves for extra expertise, but you can see I'm just keeping up slice and dice and blasting. I do pop the AGM here once all the mobs are on me. I throw the bomb. I think right after the bomb I pop the AGM. I do. I only have 20 seconds of AGM shield and 28 seconds until my evasion comes up, so most Twinks are going to have herbalism. You'd probably pop herbalism before your AGM and then evasion after, and you'd probably survive. I didn't have that luxury, so I end up going down here, but I do kill VC at 453. Your group's going to get their satchels. You're going to leave that goddamn thing and queue for another. So definitely review, guys, the cogwheel's position on the door, usually the left side, and waiting for the patrols to patrol away, the bosses to patrol away rather. And this part you'll definitely have to die a handful of times to get. The most important thing here is that we kill the ranged mob. I kind of just wait for him to patrol to not take a whole lot of damage here, but we got to kill the ranged mob, and then this spot is good. A Night Elf, like I said, could probably reset aggro here and just continue right away. So maybe a Night Elf. Let's see you do it in 4 minutes 30 seconds if you got a Night Elf rogue twinked out. Anyhow, guys, I hope this saves you some time getting your RFD gear. This has been Pitter, 19 Twink Rogue. Enjoy running your dungeons and hopefully getting out of there quicker so you can queue Warsong. Goodbye.